Snake's Revenge was a game I missed out on as a kid. I was aware of Metal Gear on the NES, but I didn't really enjoy the game when I played it, so this game kind of passed me by. A few years later, I really got into the Metal Gear series with Metal Gear Solid, and when I was geeking out about that and looking it up on the internet, I found out about Snake's Revenge. But I wrote it off because it wasn't developed by Hideo Kojima, and it wasn't really considered canon, so what did I care? Now, I decided to give it a second chance, or really a first chance, when I talked to Adam from ReplayAbility about it, because he said it wasn't a bad game, it was an okay game, and it deserved a chance.
When I was a young retro gamer, one of my friends happened to have a copy of Snake's Revenge. I'd never played the original Metal Gear, nor had I even heard of it at the time, but I made sure to borrow it from my friend and do my damnedest to thrash that walking battle tank. I liked the game overall and remember it being a pretty fun experience, and I actually somehow managed to make it all the way up till the final area, but I never finished the game. That's something that's haunted me until right now.
We decided to take a look at this game to see if it held up to Adam's memories.
I wanted to see if Snake's Revenge is actually an overlooked NES gem that was underappreciated due to the fact that it's not actually a part of the Metal Gear canon. Snake's Revenge was created by Konami for the Western markets. It was published in North America under the Ultra Games name due to Nintendo of America's guidelines for the quantity of games produced in our region.
This is a sequel to the NES version of Metal Gear, even though the name Metal Gear isn't anywhere in the title. I honestly think the title sounds like an old Nokia phone game. But it's really a Metal Gear game. The intro says so. According to the Metal Gear Wiki, when Hideo Kojima found out about the game, he went to his boss to request permission to create a true Metal Gear 2. So, Snake's Revenge may actually be responsible for the rest of the Metal Gear series. Who knew? Three years after Solid Snake blows up the Metal Gear supercomputer in Outer Heaven, the United States government finds out that a small Middle Eastern nation is creating Metal Gear 2. Solid Snake is apparently promoted to the rank of lieutenant and given a squad to infiltrate the enemy base and take it out.
The characters all fucking suck. They don't do anything worthwhile and rarely give you any significant information. They also die and betray you. It's no wonder Snake likes to work solo. In all honesty, for the majority of the game, you won't even remember that you have teammates, except for when they destroy your eardrum with a call on the transceiver for no good reason. Oh fuck. Holy shit. Hey Snake, are you okay? I'll see you soon. Cool, thanks for calling me to ask me that.
The graphics are generally pretty good. Everything is well detailed and you can pretty much tell what you are doing and where you are. I actually think it's a pretty good looking game for its style. The backgrounds are all detailed well, and the colors used make the game feel interesting and varied, without dropping into that brown military coat of paint that the original game fell victim to.
I've got to agree with Brasel on this one. As with the majority of Konami and Ultra games on the NES, the graphical style is really good. Environments, characters, and items are all very well detailed. This goes for both the traditional top-down portions of the game, as well as the more zoomed-in, side-scrolling areas that you start to see later on. Many of the large bosses look great as well. The music in Snake's Revenge is very well done, which is again a staple of Konami's products on the NES. Perhaps my favorite pieces of music include the jungle theme at the very beginning of the game, as well as the theme that plays when you encounter a boss, which is really high octane and awesome. A lot of the themes do a great job of capturing the atmosphere, particularly the music arrangement that plays in many of the bases throughout the game. It really makes you feel like you're sneaking around trying to avoid being detected, while also being extremely catchy.
The instrumentation is all very well done, and honestly, I've been listening to the soundtrack a lot lately. It's made its way into my regular rotation of music, and it's one of the better soundtracks on the system, in my opinion.
The sound effects in Snake's Revenge do what they need to do, but they don't stand out as much as the music. That being said, you'll come to hate the alarm sound just as much as in any other Metal Gear game, and be prepared to hear it a lot.
The level design in Snake's Revenge is unbalanced. Some areas are put together very well, but others feel unfair. The problem is that these unfair areas often make you take damage, robbing precious health without a good way to avoid it, or they just kill you outright. Not having an item to help avoid these literal pitfalls makes the game a chore at some points, especially when you're punished by being thrown back to your last checkpoint when you die. This wouldn't be an issue if these checkpoints weren't so few and far between. Why not allow the X-ray goggles to see the floor holes, or give the players a gas mask to avoid taking damage in certain areas? Make falling to these hazards the player's fault, not the designers.
Repeatedly picking up items until you're maxed out is also a pain in the ass. The developers could have made each pickup worth a little more to at least ease this process along. Also, the key cards are a huge pain in the ass. You get up to 8 key cards throughout the game, and the only way to figure out which key card opens which door is to open your item select screen, switch between cards, and go back into the game to test the card. When you have 2 or 3 cards, this isn't as frustrating, but near the end of the game when you have 8 of them, it can be a real slog going through them all just to open one door. Simply make it so that if you have a card with a higher security level equipped, it opens doors of the lower level as well. The side-scrolling areas are an interesting way to change up the gameplay, but many of them are badly thought out. These areas advance screen by screen, much like the overhead sections. Unfortunately, with some of the enemy placements being right near the edge of each screen, Snake will sometimes take a guaranteed hit when you advance to the next area. If the side-scrolling sections advanced gradually rather than screen by screen, you'd be able to react to the hazards more efficiently.
We don't want to leave you with the impression that this is a terrible game. It's actually got some good points as well. There are some good levels that have a good challenge, but also don't feel broken.
A lot of the overhead sections play great when they aren't being bogged down by poor game design. Dodging through spotlights, surveillance cameras, and laser detection systems is extremely fun when it works smoothly. Snake's Revenge has a lot of great variety in items and weapons, so you have a lot of options for dealing with enemies once the time comes. You can get up close and personal with a fist and knife, take soldiers out from a distance with a pistol, machine gun, and shotgun, or tear up the landscape with mines, grenades, and remote-controlled missiles. The game certainly does reward stealth, but there are a ton of great ways to dish out the destruction after you trigger an alarm. Additional items include neat technology such as mine detectors, infrared scopes, and X-ray goggles. Truth gas can be used to interrogate soldiers to acquire information, which is a neat aspect, although sometimes they actually don't know anything helpful. Perhaps the most glaring omission, however, is the iconic cardboard box.
The fact that there is no cardboard box makes me a bit unhappy, but when you consider that this is actually only the second game ever created in the Metal Gear universe, you can kind of understand where the developers maybe didn't get the importance of the now famous stealth technology. Honestly though, this game is pretty rage-inducing. I couldn't get through the majority of the game without wanting to go off the deep end and shatter my controller.
Oh, fuck off.
What the fuck?
See that? Fuck! Just make them all fucking 3 except for the ones that need to be 4. That's all you gotta do. Oh, just suffering through this fucking badly laid out game, that's all. I'm not John Turner. I'm a fuckhead. Like, I have to fucking set the alarm here. Isn't that stupid? Oh my god. Fuck it. Fuck it. Whoa! Did you see that? The fucking hole moved. Oh my god, there's a... Oh my god. Fucking good try, you little bitch.
Snake's Revenge is actually a ton better than a lot of the crap that was released for the NES, but when you put it up to other Konami games, games that Konami developed, you can tell that this was not their best effort. I honestly could not finish this game. I had a lot of problem with it. It was very, very tough to get into this game because of the poor gameplay choices. Now, there were a lot of really great ideas. in Snake's Revenge that Konami could have really done something with, but, you know, they didn't. Had they employed a really good playtester, a lot of this stuff could have been fixed. But it really feels like they were trying to rush to meet some kind of deadline, and Snake's Revenge just didn't work out very well. You know, it's still a pretty cool experience, and I really think that you should give it a chance if you're a big Metal Gear fan. You know, it's not going to be the best game, and obviously you may not finish it like I didn't, but it's still Snake, it's still Metal Gear. It's just different. It's just another alternate take to the Metal Gear series. Like so many other games have done before. The Acid series, you know, Ghost Babel on the Game Boy Color. There's a lot of little alternate universe games for the Metal Gear series, and, you know, this may not be the best one of the bunch, but it's definitely worth checking out. Now, I'd really like to thank Adam from ReplayAbility for carrying this review. He did a lot for it. He played through the game on stream, and dang, that was tough. I don't know how he does that. So, yeah, thanks, Adam. I appreciate all of the hard work and all the help with getting this review done. And that's all I've got. Later.